Back on the air here on GGRB Online, the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, and that is, of course, Booker T and the MGs with one of the best instrumentals in rock and roll history, one of my favorites anyway, Booker T and the MGs and Green Onions. GGRB Online here on Spreaker. Welcome back to the program. We're going to start in with about 50 minutes of non-stop talk as we roll into the program here for part 3 of our program at 4:39 Central Daylight Time here in Clinton. I love that daylight time, and having sunset at like close to 8 o'clock, that is my favorite time of year, definitely. And hope that we get some listeners out there. Hope you're out there, and we're going to talk to you this afternoon. If you got different things you want to talk about, we'll throw some oldies in there, some more good tunes, and more good songs, and to see who's out there. So I'm going to throw in, let's pop it. I'm going to do something real quick here. Let's see. I'll go to my show here, the Best of the Gary Russen program, pull up my little feature that I always call the... No, that's not that one. You stinking booger. It's down here somewhere. It's the... yeah, here it is. That's the one I really wanted. Okay. The updated number, don't want. Here it is. It's this one. Let's scroll through social media. Now, what that means is I go through Facebook, Twitter, and other social sites along the internet, and I read people's postings and comment on some stuff, and I'll go into all kinds of little places and just see who's out there listening to the show, who has some interesting posts. So I'm going to go to my homepage of my Facebook, and we're going to see if there is anybody out there. And, of course, talk about what's in the news. See what kind of postings that we have here as we kind of scroll along the Facebook page, showing some interesting pictures and different things. Sometimes I notice that my Facebook, every time I pull it down, my pictures don't come out right away. Why is that? I've been having that issue. I don't know. Facebook lately has been kind of aggravating me. I don't know about you, but lately it's been like every time I go onto Facebook, sometimes their pages doesn't show up, or I get a blank page. And it just gets real irritating. So I'm going to go over now to my Facebook on my... I'm going to go on the Facebook on my tablet, and I'm going to change my computer over to Twitter. Okay, so I'm going to do that instead. So I'm going to go over to Twitter, and usually I would and try to do this. I'm going to post if I don't get any responses in the next hour. And see if there's anybody out there. I usually will post a banner that I'm on live and see if I can get responses that way. But I usually see, this is part 3 now that I'm on, part 3, and see if in the next 50 minutes or so whether or not we get some listeners or not. So I'm going to do that now. And so at 29 after 5, I'll take another hard break and wrap up the show and see what we can do here. See what we got here. Some interesting stuff, some archive stuff here. Best Buy ad, some different things. A lot of people who are... I follow Svengoolie, which is the TV show. Tonight movie on Svengoolie's Valley of the Dragons. You ever hear of that movie? He plays some really offbeat movies. Okay, everybody's coloring eggs today too. He sent me a photo. Okay, let me see if we can take a look at that. He sent me a photo here. Okay. Oh. Okay, I like that. Look at that page here. Meanwhile, I'm looking at some more other interesting pictures. Some pictures of old people dressed old-fashioned like the days in early days of Easter. This posting, this is fabulous. This was posted yesterday. My sister first, and it's like a newspaper obituary that I thought was kind of neat. It says, Jesus Christ, 33 of Nazareth, died Friday at Mount Calvary, is known as Golgotha, the place of the skull. Betrayed by the Romans, betrayed by the apostles Judas, Jesus was crucified by the Romans by order of ruler Pontius Pilate. The causes of the death were crucifixion, extreme exhaustion, severe torture, and loss of blood. Jesus Christ, a descendant of Abraham, as a member of the house of David, he was the son of the late Joseph, carpenter of Nazareth, and Mary, his devoted mother. Jesus was born in the stable in the city of Bethlehem, Judea. He was survived by his mother Mary, his faithful apostles, numerous disciples, and many other followers. Jesus was self-educated and spent most of his adult life working as a teacher. Jesus also occasionally worked as a medical doctor, reported that he healed many patients up until the time of his death. Jesus was teaching and sharing the good news, healing the sick, touching the lonely, feeding the hungry, and helping the poor. Jesus was most noted for telling parables about his Father's kingdom and performing miracles such as feeding more than 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and healing the man who had been born blind. His body was quickly buried in a stone grave, which was donated by Joseph of Arimathea and a loyal friend of the family. By order of the soldiers, he was put on guard in the Little Flowers. The family then requested that everybody try to live as Jesus did. Donations may be sent to anyone in need. Easter services celebrating the life and the ministry of Jesus will be held in the area churches Sunday morning. Ministries throughout Whitley County in anticipation of the morning of resurrection. Absolutely fabulous. Absolutely incredible. I like that picture. That's cool. Shows my program on his site there. Absolutely incredible. That's great. That was sent to me by Blake Myers just a moment ago. Absolutely incredible. I like that posting, though. That is neat. That was posted first by my sister Colleen yesterday, and a few other ones. Absolutely incredible. I did like that posting. Meanwhile, that's interesting. We have a few interesting pictures here. Stephen Mucha posted this. Mylene, bison trafficking in Yellowstone. Saying nothing about this post would be much helpful for our site rather than just watching it. Thank you. Okay. All right, let's see. We got the Cubs this afternoon. The Chicago Cubs are on the air now. Playing up against who? Not sure why. It's only showing one day. I had no idea, Blake. I have no idea. I have been having these issues with Facebook lately, and it seems to me that my shows are not being posted by Facebook when I'm on the air live, because I am not getting. I think that is why I'm not getting the listeners. I sincerely believe that I'm being blocked. He said, luckily I found your post, but I couldn't find the shows otherwise. I don't know. I can't explain it. I feel like I'm being blocked by Facebook for my content. And my content is not that bad. It just seems to me like that's what it is. And I really don't know what to do about it. I really don't. I just do my show and hope that I get my postings. But I really have a grievance with Facebook at this point, and believing on sending them some kind of a note saying, what's wrong with my show? Why are you blocking it? Why is it that some of my listeners are not getting my show? And I'm starting to get really fed up. Really don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's just really aggravating me. I got some more interesting postings here on my Facebook that I'm going through right now on my tablet as I do my scroll through social media. Now, there's a posting there. I think one of the reasons, and there's another posting that I got today about some kind of a free service for business. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to check into it. Ever since I had this marketplace, whatever you call it, I don't know, wherever you have to pay to boost my show all over the place, and I think that has one of the reasons why I'm not getting listeners, because I've just been aggravated with Facebook. I've been aggravated with Zuckerberg. I've been aggravated entirely with the whole thing. But Blake, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or not. I don't know if Twitter's doing the same thing or not, because if I look on my Twitter account right now, as I'm going to go flip over to that, I know my shows are always posted. As a matter of fact, I got shows a live podcast right now. If you follow me on Twitter, I am the Radio Maniac. You can actually listen to the show right on Twitter's site. It's right there. And I quite frankly have been happier with Twitter than I have with Facebook when it comes to my radio shows being posted. Because with Twitter, at least my shows are getting posted. At least they're there. But now, since I've had this whole thing with this where you have to pay so much money to boost it, I've been trying to get rid of that because I think that's part of my problem. Trying to get rid of the my page on there. And I got a friend of mine who's a computer expert, at least somewhat of a computer expert. I'm going to ask him, and maybe perhaps he could find a way, maybe I could just get rid of it, because I really don't want that page anymore if it's going to block my shows from going up. And because I don't think, sincerely, that I should have to pay money for people to listen to my show. And quite frankly, that's what Facebook's doing. It's making me fork over $3 for people to listen to my show. And it's just not right. I don't make a profit from this radio station. Okay? I run commercials. I run spots. I run promos. But I offer free advertising. Okay, so, anybody who wants to advertise on my station, their business, they can advertise on my station. And I mean, like for example, Blake, if you wanted to advertise your garage, even though it's not in Clinton, the people listening maybe in your area were to listen to this station, or listen to GJRB, and I decide, you give me the details of your garage, I will write a commercial, produce it, and put it on the air. You wouldn't have to pay a red cent. I have no rate card. I make no profit from this radio station. So quite frankly, I'm just going to find a way to take down that stupid thing, because that's what's blocking my show from going up. I think I would get more listeners if people were to go over to Twitter, because my shows are getting posted there. I see it every time I'm on the air. Big red button right there. It says live podcast, the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra 420 19 Part 3 on Spreaker. When you go into Twitter, you'll see my show posted there. And I've been more happier with Twitter than I have been with Facebook when it comes to my show being posted. Really have been. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GTRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. And I'm going to give you some national temperatures. I think what I'm going to do now, it is 4:53 Central Daylight Time. I'm going to go ahead and pop another song in. And then I'll do weather on the fives, a little past 5 o'clock, about 5:05. And I might even stay on longer. I'm seriously thinking about it because I want to see if maybe I can get some listeners somewhere. Because I'm really getting kind of like, come on now. It can't be that dead. Really. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do weather on the fives, but this is a freestyle show, so I'll do weather fives. I do weather on the fives on any time in the hour ending in 5. 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 minutes past the hour. So I will do another weather on the fives with temperatures coming up at around 5:15. So 5:15 we'll do a weather forecast. Okay, 5:15 weather on the fives. And here on GJRB Online. So I'm going to go ahead now and put on a tune. So this time I'm going to dig into my Christian rock list because I really need to play more Christian rock. I love Christian rock. I like to play Christian rock. And so I like to, put that on. So I thought, why don't we do that? The song I'm going to play for you by Switchfoot is the theme to my Way Out There show segment called The Afterlife. Now, what I mean by that is I do a segment in where I play videos, audio tracks and videos of people who talk about their experiences. They have died and came back and talked about being on the other side. And I call it the Afterlife. This is the theme to it. Switchfoot on the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. The Afterlife. Yeah, The Afterlife. Fabulous song there by the group Switchfoot on GJRB Online. Great Christian rock band, and that's called The Afterlife. And you're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We'll have weather on the fives in about 15 minutes here on GJRB Online, and we'll head into our final part. I got a schedule update coming up. We'll let you know what's going to be on GJRB Online, and we'll tell you what's happening on our Spreaker public site. What's going to be on tonight? It's 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. It is 3 o'clock Pacific, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, right here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. Yeah, this is the GJRB Online Network. And glad you could be with me today. We got another hour of great talk and stuff, and we're in 23 minutes left to go of our 50-minute, well, over 23 actually, make that 33 minutes left to go of our GJRB, our 50 minutes of nonstop talk, and wrap up our show for today here. And show's going awfully fast. Really is. Don't know why, but it's going awfully fast. And just kind of doing a lot of stuff here this afternoon, as I told you before, about an hour ago. Ben told me he was at work, so I said, well, he's frustrated with it too. I guess I can understand that, and believe me, I can. But it's been kind of frustrating not being able to. I just can't plan a show around that anymore. So next week we're going to do the Blues House on GJRB Online, which is really regularly scheduled for the final week of the month anyway. Gary J's Blues House. Next Friday, we're going to be on the air at 1 o'clock Central Time for the last 7 days. Probably be the most recent show, and this one will probably be going up on Thursday morning. So I'll probably record that for broadcast live. But I have a last 7 days from the previous week we have not put up yet. So I'll have that put up. I'll have a last 7 days at the top of the hour, 1 o'clock. And because it's been going longer than normal. It has been. We've been going like almost 2 hours, hour and a half. So I'm going to leave some space for that and go on the air with it at 1 o'clock, followed at 3 o'clock by Way Out There, the strange, the bizarre, the unusual. We got a great show lined up for you on that program. Let me see, was that part 4? Let's see, I think it's part 4 of our series on technocracy. So we're going to talk about that. And I have a series I'm starting now talking about hell. And so we've got some interesting stuff there. A woman who actually was guided through by Christ through hell, and a few other ones. And people saying that people like the scientist Stephen Hawking is down there. So we're going to do some things on that one. And talk about people who have died and came back. It's a feature we're doing called The Afterlife here on GJRB. And then, of course, we got some really good stuff coming up on future shows. Trying to get some guests lined up. And Linda Moulton Howe, she's been doing live stuff lately. She has a YouTube channel. She's been doing some live streaming, and she's some interesting stuff on that one. So plan on doing something there. So we're going to do that. And a whole lot more. Here to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. Here on GJRB Online, we're doing a scroll through social media. And I thought, well, since we're on Twitter, we kind of flip over because there really isn't much on the Facebook side of things. And there's more news on Twitter, more news than on Facebook anymore. So I kind of jumped to that for news, definitely. Let's see. I want to go down the pair here. Let's see. They've been having that issue over in Florida again, down in Florida again, of alligators coming onto the golf course. Wow, Dave Scott. You wanted facial hair? Here you go. 1985, age 32. That's what he looked like. Is that James Whitmore or is that Dave Scott? I don't know. Interesting, though. Kind of down the line, Mr. Rogers doing some stuff with eggs there. Let's see, what other stuff do we have here? There's a baseball retweet. GGRB Online, there's my first part there. Going down the page now. Let's see what else we can find of interests. The other post there is an empty post. That is the first part of our broadcast. The first 22 minutes that are offline before we start. Okay, let's see what we got here. This was posted about 2 hours ago from Weather Nation. This is what 3 days of severe weather looks like when compiled to storm reports. This is just some interesting stats there. I don't know if that's a video with audio. Let me see if I can post that up there and see if that's audio with it. No, it just shows the storms going up the map. So it's more or less just a visual, not an audio. Gonna go down the page a little bit, see what we can find here. Elizabeth Warren, you hear about this one? She wants to start impeachment proceedings with President Trump. These people just don't quit, do they? It's like, give it up, people. You Democrats lost. You can't take loss very well. She wants impeachment proceedings, President Trump, Elizabeth Warren. Now there's another communist for you. Mark Levin was recently on Fox and Friends. Volume 2 is crap. Levin blasted on Mueller's 200-page op-ed. I think that would be kind of interesting. Let's listen to the... is this a video or is this just... Okay, this is from a Fox News. Don't know if this is a video or just a picture. Mark Levin said on Friday the second part of the... sorry, but the video we're trying to play cannot be found. Wow, that wouldn't surprise me any. Mark Levin was recently on Friday's Fox and Friends. The second part of the special counsel Robert Mueller's report on the Trump-Russia collusion is crap. He said simply an op-ed on the former FBI director's thoughts on obstruction of justice. Levin stated, quote, obstruction was not the purpose of the investigation. Levin is a host of Life Liberty. He said, quote, I didn't have the obstruction case against the President of the United States or would have brought one. That was why we have the court of law. That's why prosecutors, and he uses damn it, is not supposed to write essays like this. Levin stated that there is little, I can't pronounce that, or whatever. Anyway, I'll find out that word there. But he says that it's not legit. So he's saying legitimatory. Significance to Mueller's discussion on the instances involving ex-Trump White House counsel Donald McGahn and others. And written in red lettering here, Tucker, this is Tucker saying this now, Mueller probe didn't destroy Trump, but did a lot to destroy this country. Barr's letter was a spoiler alert, the 5 on the Mueller report released. Volume 2 of that report is crap. Volume 2 is written for slip and fall lawyer Gerard Naylor and slip and fall lawyer Adam Schiff. And then Levin stated that Mueller knew the media would run with this salacious content to the second volume of the report. He said the obstruction-related material consisted of what he said, she said, allegations that no prosecutor would ever think to bring before the judge. And, of course, like I said, the video unavailable, and you have to wonder why. I would have to wonder why. You know, why is this video not being shown? Why all of a sudden we're not seeing it? Interesting. All right, got some more stuff I got on both Facebook. I got Facebook on my tablet and Twitter on the computer, and we're doing scroll through social media here on GHRB Online, here on the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. Hope you're enjoying the program. We're doing nonstop talk and music and stuff like that, and just kind of rolling through the pages here. Just kind of posting a bit about Elizabeth Warren. Here's an interesting one. Columbine Remembrance Ceremony was held to commemorate 20-year anniversary of the shooting at Columbine High School. This is a live video going on right now from Fox News in Littleton, Colorado, when 12 students and the teacher were killed. Now, let me see if I can get the plugged in so I can play this on the air. Okay, I'm going to let me see, is it still there? Okay, let's see if we can play this on the air. Get it up on volume control here. And see if we can play this on this. Okay, that's not it. Okay, let me see here. Oh. Okay, I pulled that out. Let me see here. Yes, doesn't make for interesting radio, does it, folks? No, it doesn't. Okay, if I had that audio cord plugged in, and obviously, let me see. Out. Okay, let me see if we can get this to play. Okay, let's see here.
He was saying, trying to formulate my own feedback and thoughts and what I was going to respond with.
Okay. Not playing here. Let me see if we can get this to play again. This is live going on right now, the Columbine Remembrance Ceremony. And I thought we'd just play a little piece of this. Don't know who's talking at this point. Was getting it, but now it's not playing. For some apparent reason, they're on to me here, folks. They know I'm playing these videos on the air, but I don't care. I'm going to play them anyway. Okay. Okay, I want to see if I can find that clip on the computer. So I want to go to the computer and put it on my Facebook on there, and see if I can find that particular piece on there. I want to go to the computer right now and see if I can find that posting. Meanwhile, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on the Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. If you like the program, drop you a line. Hit the like button on my site if you want to do. That tells me then, too, that at least I'm getting some listeners.
About his injuries,
here it is.
Repeating
this is
what I heard over the intercom, or repeating
this is the Columbine Remembrance Ceremony.
And just a significant challenge in the communication between me and whoever I was talking to. But through the help of everybody, first responders, SWAT, EMTs, physical therapists, occupational therapists, everybody, doctors, nurses, surgeons, like everybody who helped with rebuilding our lives, we've come so far. Love, impact, scars, perseverance, attitude, togetherness, pride, community, hope, memories, recovery, forgiveness. These are some of the words that come to mind when I think back on the past 20 years and what our journey has meant to me, and hopefully to many of you as well. This has been an extremely emotionally draining week for me. I've had some conversations up to this point, but getting a chance to speak on Thursday night, talking to student body yesterday morning, speaking this morning and speaking here, it's like you get amped up, get some adrenaline going, and then after, just like this huge letdown of adrenaline, I'm going to sleep good tonight. We've been able to come together and connect with so many people that I'm sure after it's all over, we'll look back on it. There's so much anticipation leading up to this. The planning committee meetings, all the different things, and just the massive amount of time that we put into it beforehand, waiting for it to come, just the day of the day of the day. Thank God it's Easter tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to know that we're all here and that we participated. When I think of love in the world, I think of all the good people out there, the belief that love exists, the belief that love triumphed and overcame. I witnessed it. And the 24-year-old ambulance driver traveled 85 blocks to St. Anthony's Hospital in 17 minutes. I witnessed it in the counselors, mental health professionals that guided so many of us. By keeping a positive outlook, despite all the negative news with which we're constantly bombarded, we can overcome obstacles. Dwelling on what is bad in the world results in lost energy and does nothing to improve our lives. Impact. Sean mentioned this. Everyone was affected. There's not a single person in our school or the community that was not impacted or changed in some way. Obviously not everybody has the physical scars from that day, but everyone was affected. Many of us are still working through the process.
And that is a commemoration ceremony going on right now. I guess it's been 20 years since the Columbine incident, and they're having a remembrance down there. That is going on right now from Fox News from Littleton, Colorado. They are holding a commemorable 20-year anniversary of the shooting there that happened in Columbine. Meanwhile, down the line here, we got weather on the 5s. We're going to move that up to 25 after 5, and we're going to do What's on Spreaker coming up on GJRB Online. So we're going to go further up down the line here and see what else we can find. Got some not many interesting postings today. A lot of stuff that I thought was pretty good. I kind of skimming through some things. From WBTV in Charlotte, North Carolina, hate crime. A male victim told police that a man threatened to kill him earlier this week because he is black and his girlfriend is white. Okay, so there's more of that. Proof of what the Caramel Conservative has been saying in that civil war is going on here, folks. Further up down the page, let's see what else we could find. Some more stuff. Let's see. Tomorrow's Easter. I want to wish everybody out there in our Radio Land audience, our Spreaker audience, that happy Easter from GJRB Online. I hope you have your best Easter ever. I hope you have a great day and a great celebration. And I hope that things go, have a great holiday. So let's say from that. And, just have a great Easter. I'll say that at the end of the show, too. So I don't know what I'm going to do for tomorrow yet. I kind of think about taking Easter off, taking a break. Because, again, like I've said before, it's just getting to a point where I love doing this broadcast, but talking to myself is okay, but it gets old very quick. Got some more stuff here. Got to scroll through social media. GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. We're going to be taking a break here very shortly. I'm going to flip over for our final part and then run some promos and spots. Go local on my 9-foot signal here. Listen to the show on Spreaker FM 88.9 if you're listening in the neighborhood, on 88.9 megahertz on the 9-foot signal, closed circuit around our studios. KSPR LPFM in Clinton, Iowa. And I'm Gary J. Russen. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on GJRB Online. And glad you could be with me on a beautiful sunny day here in Clinton. And we'll have our weather on the 5s for Clinton, Iowa coming up in the final part of our show as well, as we close out this edition of the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. Again, I'm sorry that this whole thing with Ben Osman is coming out so raw. I guess what it is they can't find a replacement. He works for a sports facility there. And I think I've heard of the town around Pittsburgh there. And he can't seem to get a Saturday off. So until he does, I am not going to schedule any more Saturday extras for a while. So I'm going to kind of put this show to rest for a little bit on Saturday. Next week, I'll do a Saturday broadcast where we're going to do the Blues House. I'm going to play some music. I'm going to take a break from talking through because, like I said before, it's just not working. Trying to get this show on the air and hoping my guest will show up is not good radio. It really isn't. When I can have somebody on or maybe even play an old interview or something, because it's crazy. And I was kind of getting frustrated today. It's one of my best days. So we're just going to do the best we can with what we've got here. And I'm going to throw in an identification on my 9-foot signal and be right back. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. And coming up, we're going to do our program schedule coming up here real soon. And I'll give you that. That's going to be coming up. And I don't want to just yet. Just getting that ready. And I'll have that one for you. What's on Spreaker? And it appears that Debbie Scott of the Debbie Scott Radio Network, I think, is still on vacation, and she's been on vacation since April 1st. I know she had mentioned a while back on her program that she was going to be taking a break. So they have not been on the air for several weeks now. I think they were, I don't know, if they're doing a month vacation. I thought they'd be back after 2 weeks, but they are not back yet. So normally we would be carrying them after I get off the air here on my closed circuit signal. But since there is no programming after me today, and this will be the only show on, I thought I would do is just extend it just a little bit longer here on GJRB Online, here on the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, past 6 o'clock. I want to stay on just a little bit longer since I don't have anything on after me next to just continue broadcasting for a little while longer since she's not on today. You're listening to GJRB Online on Spreaker. This is the GJRB Online Network.